Hello guys, welcome back to Cafe at Simplify. And yeah, I want to start some series daily because recently I've been feeling stupid. You know, work keeps on piling every day. And oh my goodness, I really have a lot to cover. Yeah, yeah. And if you feel like me, I believe then we are on the right track. Let's get started. It will be short, daily. I pledge I will not be going for lunch before I do this. I pray I get the enablings. Yeah, I want to do it daily. At least even if it is 10 minutes, we share something. They're gonna be called lunch bites. So welcome to lunch bite one. Yeah, share, like, and subscribe. I'm SK Cafero, and this lunch bite is for macroeconomics. Macro, year one, semester two. An increase in demand for money would result in an increase in demand for money would result in I am making the fonts large because people are complaining recently about it. Yeah, hope you are able to see. Share your comment in the feedback. Share your feedback in the comments. Oh my goodness. Yeah, share your comments in the feedback, and yeah, I'll know what to do. An increase in demand for money would result from an increase in demand for money. An increase in demand for money would result from a decrease in nominal GDP, decrease, no, an increase in the interest rate, an increase in the price level, and D, an increase in the price level, an increase in demand for money. When do we demand for money? When there is an increase in the price level. The answer here is Control U, D, proven and tested right. Why? Because whenever there is an increase in demand for money will result from an increase in the price level. Whenever there is an increase in the price level, that means an item is buying more. And let's say pen is now 10,000 and will demand more money to buy that item. So commercial banks create money whenever they make loans. Answer proven and tested. Control U. And yeah, that is how money multiplier banking, you remember the macroeconomics in A level. Banks make money through loans. The money demand curve is downward sloping because, yeah, now here I try to explain something. The money demand curve is downward sloping because the first, the opportunity cost of holding money is inversely related to the interest rate. The opportunity cost of holding money is inversely related to the interest rate. The opportunity cost of holding money rises as the interest rate rises. C, the opportunity cost of holding money rises as the interest rate falls. D, the opportunity cost of holding money is constant at varying interest rate levels. And our answer here is the opportunity cost of holding money rises as the interest rate rises. Is downward sloping. Now I'm going to explain this. Control U. This is tested and proven. Here, first of all, opportunity cost being high means you are making loss when you don't perform the action, and that action is saving. That action is savings in the bank. Okay, so what does that mean? The opportunity cost is downward sloping because the the money demand curve, the money demand curve is downward sloping because the opportunity cost of holding money rises as the interest rate rises. What does this statement mean? Opportunity cost is the alternative foregone when a choice is made. What happens when the interest rate rises? That means when you invest your money in the bank, when you save your money in the bank, you get a lot. The interest rate is high, you get a lot from it. That means when you keep your money you're making losses. Yeah. Here I put when the interest rates are high. Yeah. When the interest rates are high, then the opportunity cost is also high. So people hold less money and invest more or save more. Okay. Yes. When the opportunity rates are low, opportunity when the interest rates are low, opportunity cost is low. So people hold more money because when you save your money, the result is that you're going to get less because the interest rates are low. So what happens is people hold more money because you are not going to benefit from saving it and invest less. That is why money demand curve slopes downward. As interest rates fall, the opportunity cost of holding money decreases. The interest rates are falling, so the opportunity cost of holding money decreases, and people demand more money, making it an inverse relationship between interest rate and the amount of money demanded. Now, this one brings it out clearly that as the interest rates falls, why is it inversely proportional? As the interest rate falls, what happens? The opportunity cost also of holding money reduces. Yeah, that means people demand more money because the opportunity rate has fallen. You demand more money instead of saving it, making an inverse relationship between the interest rate. Now, we should get to know that the interest rate, the relationship is between the interest rate and the demand for money, because and then money demand. You realize here, as interest rate falls, the opportunity cost also decreases. That will be the relationship if that is between interest rate and the opportunity cost. But the question was asking the but here the statement is the opportunity cost of holding money rises as interest rate rises. This relationship, for it is a direct, is not an inversely proportional. It's a directly proportional relationship. While the one for interest rate and money demand is an inverse one. Why? Because as interest rate falls, opportunity cost also decreases. So what happens now? People demand for money, making interest rate and the money demand an inverse relationship because the interest rate has fallen, but the demand for money has increased. That is why it is an inverse relationship. Number four, a lot of purchases these days are made with credit and Visa cards. Given this trend, keeping other factors constant, that is ceteris paribus, we expect now, whenever we make transactions, cashless transactions, that means the money demand will shift inwards. This is C, control U. This means the money demand will shift inwards. Why? Because all of your money is in is in is in cashless form. That means there is less demand for the hard or physical money. That is why the money demand curve shifts inwards, because there is less demand for physical money because now the money is in cashless form, like mobile money. Number five, which of the following does not cause money demand to shift? Now I try to put here an illustration. Which of the following does not cause money demand to shift? So we have, this is the money supply curve. So we have here interest rate, and obviously the one for demand would just change it. The demand, this is supply, right? This is money demand. This is in money supply. Yeah. So you observe that it is interest rate against the quantity of money. What does that mean? That means that interest rate is not shifting. There is no shifting the interest rate. It is either increasing this side or decreasing downwards, but it is not shifting. And you get it. I guess you get that point. Eh? So which of the following does not cause the money demand to shift? An increase in the interest rate. Hmm? Which of the following does not cause? Which of the following does not cause the money demand to shift? Huh? Money supply. This is the money demand. Hmm? Yeah, and they have told us to shift means it is moving from here to here. An increase in the interest rate, when this one increases like this, does cause this the money demand to shift? Does it cause this money demand to shift? We see no. While these other factors which are given here, a change in price level causes the money demand to shift. A change in transfer costs. Transfer costs is how easy you can easily obtain money instead of using those financial institutions. That one also causes a change in demand. And a change in GDP also causes a shift in money demand. So our answer here, tested and proven, is a change in the interest rate. Control U, let me explain it clearly. A change in the interest rate does not cause the money demand to shift. Why? Because this is from this graph, this is our money demand here. Yeah. Now, if interest rate here on the left increases, yeah, what will happen? This money demand will not shift, it will either go up or come down, but a shift would mean transferring from this position to another position. Yes. The money demand curve shows the relationship between quantity of money demanded and the interest rate. Quantity of money demanded and the interest rate. So it doesn't cause a shift. Number 6, which of these actions by the Bank of Uganda is likely to exacerbate inflation in the economy? The meaning of exacerbate is to worsen the situation. And how do we worsen inflation? By increasing money supply. How does money supply come in this one? The first one is buying government bonds. Whenever the government buys, it means it is getting money. Because imagine on this question, you have to imagine that you are the bank. If the Bank of Uganda is to buy government bonds, that means if I'm the Bank of Uganda and I'm buying government bonds, it means me, I'm giving out money. Already there is inflation, but I'm buying. That means I'm giving out money. So this makes it to be right. Selling government bonds, that means if I'm the bank and I'm selling, people are giving me money, so I'm reducing the amount of money, which is a solution to inflation. Increasing the bank rate, when we increase the bank rate, we see that this one is also a solution to inflation. And selling treasury bills, whenever there is any form of selling, it means we are withdrawing from the public, making our answer tested and proven to be control U, which is A, buying government bonds. Which of the following is likely to exacerbate the inflation? Exacerbate, we have said, to worsen the situation. Whenever the buying government bonds, whenever the Bank of Uganda is here, control U, buys government bonds, that means it's doing more injection, because for it is buying, it is giving out money. Yeah. And that means it is worsening the situation. When Bank of Uganda buys government bonds, it injects money into the banking system by paying bondholders. This increases money supply, making more money available for loans and spending, which exacerbates inflation by increasing demand for goods and services. Yeah. So during inflation, reduce that money as a control measure. What is meant by derived demand? We see that derived demand is demand for a resource derived from what it can be used to produce. And our answer is control U, D. That is derived demand. It is not demand from the beginning. It is not any of those demand. The demand derived from income taxes, demand is derived from the price system, So derived demand, you demand for something because of what it helps to produce. That is derived demand. According to the substitution effect, in response to an increase in wage, a person will. Now, what is substitution effect? Substitution effect occurs when an increase in wages makes leisure more expensive in terms of foregone earnings. Since the opportunity cost of leisure has risen, people tend to work more hours to earn higher income rather than more leisure time. Under substitution effect, higher wages lead to more hours worked since leisure is more costly in terms of wages. If you find that you going for leisure, you're losing a lot. That is what we call substitution effect. Imagine if somebody is earning five, even if it's say 1 million per hour. That means if I go for leisure, I'm going to lose those 5 millions. So I rather work more hours, and I've seen this with programmers, guys who are doing software engineering. Since they earn per hour, the American-based system, you find that they have no time to waste. So that means the substitution effect comes into play. That means leisure has become costly. Okay? So according to substitution effect, in response to increase in wages, a person will reduce hours worked because no one wants to substitute leisure for work. That is wrong, because we have said under this we will increase the hours worked. Reduce hours worked because no one wants to substitute work for leisure. Wrong. Increase hours worked because leisure has become relatively more expensive than consumption. Increase hours worked because leisure has become relatively less expensive. So we see that our answer here is C, tested and proven. Number 9, yeah, second last finally, and we'll be done with our lunch bite. What is the fundamental role of fiscal policy? So we see that the fundamental role of fiscal policy is to in making revenue and expenditure decisions, not control you. Here we are having reducing government regulations, establishing automatic stabilizers, controlling budget deficits. However, these answers might be correct, but the fundamental role of fiscal policy are all about the revenues and the expenditures. So you're saying fiscal policy refers to the government use of taxation and spending to influence the economy. How they use the taxation, how they spend to influence the economy. The fundamental role of fiscal policy is to make decisions about revenue, that is taxation, and expenditure, that is government spending, to achieve economic objectives such as growth, stability, and employment. Yeah, finally we come to our last lunch bite. Which of the following correctly describes Philippi's curve? Now I put a graph here on Philippi's curve. Now this is what Philippi's curve has for us. Yeah. When you are to observe, this is how Philippi's curve looks like. And it assumes that it works in the short run. We're having inflation rate against unemployment. So inflation rate is here. Inflation rate, you realize as inflation rate increases, what would we expect? When we rate to unemployment, would we expect that as inflation rate increases, there is a lot of inflation. Would we expect that unemployment would also increase? But my dear, Philippi's curve is different. Let's look into it. As inflation rate increases from 2 to 4, what happens? Unemployment reduces from 5 to 3. That is the whole idea. High inflation, low unemployment. Low inflation, as inflation is very low, say at 2%, would expect that unemployment would also be low because inflation rate is low. But my dear, unemployment is very high. So I think now you see low inflation, high unemployment. High inflation, low unemployment. This does not work in the long run. So now, with that background, which of the following correctly describes Philippi's curve? A curve showing inverse relationship between interest rate and the quantity of money demanded. Interest rate and the quantity of money demanded, that is wrong. A curve showing direct relationship between interest rates and the quantity of money demanded. So we see it is not about quantity of money. That one also makes it wrong. A curve showing direct relationship between inflation rate and unemployment. we see that it is not a direct relationship. A curve showing an inverse relationship between inflation rate, curve showing inverse relationship, we see that it is an inverse relationship, control U, between inflation rate, true, and unemployment. So making our answer to be generally D, tested and proven. Guys, that is the end of our lunch bite, and it has taken 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wish you all the best. Like, share, and subscribe.